and start back right here with the second part. There is nothing in the Panama Papers that explicitly states who is behind Process Consultants. The company was created in 1985, and back then Mossack Fonseca truly did not care who owned their companies, nor was there much legal obligation in Panama for them to do so. Instead, the firm created a company, usually for a lawyer or a banker who solicited it on behalf of their client, stuffed the registration form in a file, and forgot about it until a year passed and it was time to send an invoice for a renewal. Nonetheless, it appears Process Consultants was originally created by a Dresdner Bank Latin America AG in Panama for a client. This person may have been a German Ecuadorian industrialist who found his way to the law firm through its Guayaquil franchisee. At some point, the law firm's internal documents began to identify the company as originating in Luxembourg and connected to a branch of the Swiss bank UBS in Germany. In 1991, Process Consultants Incorporated bought a unit in the newly constructed Trump Palace on 200 East 69th Street in Manhattan. The 54-story skyscraper was the tallest building above 60th Street. Trump Palace makes little effort to fit into its surroundings. It wants to stick out on the skyline like a prima donna. The truth is that Trump Palace is less an homage to the 20s and 30s than it is a hangover from the 80s, sniffed the New York Times. The Trump Palace was open for business for foreign buyers and sellers, some of them hiding behind anonymous shell companies. The person or persons behind Process Consultants decided to sell his condo in 1994. Trump Corporation was the exclusive broker. It was the Donald's Palace after all. In September 1994, a document in the files details an arrangement for the apartment. Sale price $395,000. Later, the price appears to have been whittled down to $355,000. The buyer of the apartment may have been from Hong Kong. There's a woman with the same name as the individual identified in the files as the person to whom the property was transferred that pops up in a previous offshore leak reported by ICIJ. Unfortunately, the New York City Department of Finance online database ACRIS only has information on the apartment of 2005. At that point, it was owned by a Brazilian from Sao Paulo. He used his real name. That year, he sold it for $795,400. But the Process Consultant story does not end with the sale of the Trump apartment in 2006. Mossack Fonseca contacted the Ecuadorian industrialist about his company. It appears the firm lost touch with the owner and believed he wanted the company dissolved. Mossack Fonseca went to UBS, which rejected any responsibility for the matter. By 2008, Mossack Fonseca had created more than 160,000 offshore entities. This torrent of secret companies, particularly the older ones, had become difficult to manage. Still, as long as everyone got paid, including Donald Trump, nobody asked too many questions. Now, Mossack Fonseca wasn't sure who to bill. It contacted the industrialist inquiring what was going on. The Ecuadorian wrote back, "Gentlemen, I do not understand what you mean with this message. The company Process Consultants Incorporated was established in Panama almost a quarter of a century ago." Quarter spelled with a C. So you know. "Since then, you send me the annual bills for the administration fees, which I always paid to you. Why does the administrator, for me, you, suddenly come up with this strange comment? If there was any change concerning the registry or administration of Process Consultants Incorporated, and that time the process was spelled with 3 S's, I would have been the first to know and accept it. Please enlighten me on the subject." Interesting.